Welcome, and let's talk about the Symmetry tool in Photoshop. So I've got a document here. It's a 10 by 10 at 300 dpi, just a very simple square, and I'm going to put rulers on it. So I'm just going to find my 5 center mark and my 5 center mark here. Not sure it really matters that I do this, but it's always a good practice. And I'm just going to make it the size of my window. Now the Symmetry tool may or may not be turned on your machine. If it's not, this is how you do it. You go to Preferences and you pull down in the flyout to Technology Previews. And then you're just going to make sure there's a check mark next to Enable Paint Symmetry. And I have one because I've already got it turned on, but yours is probably checked off. So you just check it and say OK. And now, when you're in your brush tool, specifically in your brush tool, you'll notice that on this menu bar here, that each of these brushes has their very own option bar. We're going to find the butterfly, which is at the far right, and we're going to click on it. And so there's a drop down that tells you all these different things that you can do. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick what said New Dual Axis, and that's going to give me this box. And so essentially that's the area that I'm drawing in, and that's the shape that I'm drawing. But if I was just to draw normally, just whatever I'm going to draw, I'm going to commit that, by the way, because you can see. So this is, it's letting me draw this. It's in yellow, so I don't know. You can't really probably see it that well. So we'll just choose the red, and you can see what I've drawn here. So that's just on a regular background layer, but I want to show you something else. So if I did Command-Shift-N for new layer, then it's going to give me a basic transparent layer, and I'm going to turn this one off. And I'm going to put another layer down below just so I could see what's going on, and I'm going to fill it with white, for example, the D key, and then I'll toggle it so I'll get a white background. And I'm going to put that layer on top, the transparent layer on top. You'll understand why in a minute. So I'm back on my brush tool, and the thing that happens with the Symmetry tool is that it works with paths. So you got to pull up your path menu. Now because I drew something before, it says dual axis is what I'd chosen, but now what I can do to something nifty is I'm just going to highlight only the words dual axis, and I'm going to type mandala, M-A-N DALA, and be sure you spell it correctly. And I'm going to say I want 10 spires to come out of this, for example. And I'm going to make sure that I have my black color chosen for my brush. And now as I draw out, and that's all I'm doing, I'm just drawing out beautiful 10 lines to make this mandala. Of course, like with anything else, you can use multiple colors. I can put a little design inside of here. I could do straight lines. I could do any kind of line that I want. Match them, not match them, whatever. I could use another color. Now, here's why I did it on its own layer with a transparent background, because now I could actually put a layer style on it. So if I wanted to go layer, layer style, and let's just do something simple like a drop shadow. There's a drop shadow, and I could dial it in any way I want it, the spread or the size. I can even, if I want to, give it a color. So I can click on the box there, pick blue for example, and turn it that color. Right now it's set for 36%, and I'm going to make it at 100% of that blue and say OK. So that's all you have to do to do the mandala. You can also do radial thing, but honestly I can't really tell the difference between the radial and the mandala, so I'm not going to worry about that. But those are the basics of how you use the tool. Don't forget, you go to the symmetry thing, the dual axis, or the spiral or diagonal, any one of those things, and you can affect what happens using the Paths palette. Okay, that is the simple introduction to the Symmetry Paint tool in Photoshop.